Hello, I'm Murtuza Ghia, and in the previous segment, I spoke to you about my story of a burnout. In this, I'd like to introduce some concepts about burnout. My intention is to create awareness about burnout, give you a concise summary, and with my brutal honesty, drive home the fact that burnout is real. I'd also like to, in future segments, give you some practical tips which I actually have practiced and which have helped me deal with my burnout. Almost 1 in every 2 doctors is burnt out. 88% of these doctors are moderate to severely stressed. It's shocking that 60% of doctors actually wouldn't recommend a career in medicine to their children. Now, different specialties have different rates of burnout or different incidences of burnout. This is a Medscape report and this is American statistics, but it's important to understand that burnout is not a dichotomous variable, which means burnout is not a yes or no. Burnout is a continuous variable, which means that it's either mild, moderate, or severe. Which then means that no one is immune from burnout. We all, by virtue of practicing medicine, are going to be burnout. The purpose of all this discussion is then to limit the burnout to the mild stage. In that context, what is then important is the severity of burnout. So depending on the specialties, now you will see that a lot of numbers and orders have changed. Severity of burnout is more important than just the absolute incidence. The definition of burnout. It's a very formal definition. It's not just one bad day at work, things went wrong, you come back and say I'm burnt out. No. Burnout is a formal diagnosis made by 3 aspects of burnout. This is defined by maslach. Maslach and a group of scientists, they've been researching burnout for the last 20 years. And this is their definition: emotional exhaustion. You simply have no emotions to some major event that's occurring at work. You actually have no emotions to offer at all to anyone, even your colleagues. Depersonalization. This is treating your patients as objects, simply as objects, and having cynical attitudes toward them. In fact, one article mentions that if some patients came with certain problems, healthcare professionals felt they deserved that problem. For instance, a 50-year-old male has a drink of alcohol, falls and has a brutal fracture. And he's crying in pain. And all you have to say is, he deserves it. Who told him to have a drink early in the morning? Depersonalization can erupt from emotional exhaustion. The third aspect of burnout is low personal accomplishment. Now, this is largely to do with self-confidence also. You are doing great work, you're working really hard, but at the end of the day, you always feel that I'm not contributing. And you feel completely dissatisfied having done whatever you did. So these 3 components have been spread out over 22 questions. As you can see, this is the maslach burnout inventory, the Human Services Survey questionnaire, and this has 22 questions. Each question has to be marked by you on a scale of 0 to 6. 0 is you never feel this way, and 6 is you feel this way every single day. Well, there are 22 questions, and I'd like to highlight just a few of them just so that you get an idea of what we're talking about. I feel fatigued when I get up in the morning and have to face another day at the job. I don't really care what happens to some of my recipients, in this case, patients. I feel my patients blame me for some of their problems. Questions like these have to be answered by you on a scale, and then a formal scoring is done, and based on that, your burnout is classified as mild, moderate, or severe. I urge you to download this. This is available freely, and discuss this with your friends and colleagues if you think that anyone is getting into a severe degree of burnout. In the next segment, I will be talking to you about some factors that lead to burnout. For now, thank you for your patient listening. I hope to see you in the next segment. Thank you.